All right, we are officially live everywhere. Give me just a moment. All righty, we are going to be live everywhere. Awesome. We are good to go. We are officially live. Thank you so much for joining me. How's everybody doing today? It is Wednesday of Holy Week, and I can't even believe that we're here already. Today we did have a guest scheduled, but she had some technical issues, so we're going to reschedule her. No worries. And in the meantime, we are going to talk about Holy Week. I think it's a little fitting, honestly, with it being Holy Week, that we kind of shift focus a little bit. So all good, working together here. If this is your first time, thank you so much for joining us. This is Catholic Owned Live. I'm your host, Brooke Joyner. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Catholic Owned. And this show is designed for conversations around how we work, how we build, how we spend our money, and how that aligns with our values as Catholics. The purpose of the show really is to give the stage, to shine a light on Catholics who have a role to play in the Catholic economy, who have something to say, and who are fulfilling their vocation in this whole grander scheme of the Catholic economy. So it's a wonderful show. Typically, the Wednesday show, I have one of our wonderful members or another professional come on who has something to say about the Catholic economy. Today, as I mentioned, it is Holy Week, so we're going to be focusing on that today. That being said, we will be back next week with some incredible guests. And after Easter, we have lots of good stuff planned. So for today, for the Wednesday show, I was just going to kind of chat about Holy Week a little bit. Oh, Joseph, thank you. Welcome from Dublin, Ireland. That's amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's amazing. So, Holy Week, how is your Holy Week going? To me, I really feel like this Lent has gone by really, really quickly. And of course, Easter is a little earlier this year compared to last year, so that probably has something to do with it. But this Holy Week, I really am just reflecting on how we can live this week the best that we possibly can, and while continuing to drive forward, some of the initiatives that we have as business owners. I think this is something that I've heard from others this week, so I know I'm not alone in this. The challenge of slowing down during these, high holidays, during these most solemn feast days and celebrations and memorials of our faith. The truth is that as a business owner, it's actually really tough to slow down. It's really tough to stop working, especially if you have people who depend on you. You have upcoming initiatives or things in the second quarter, as is the case here, to focus on and to promote and to kind of get ahead of. And stopping, pausing as a business owner is one of the most challenging things, at least for me personally. Some of the people I've spoken to this week, some of our members and people that we're working with, I'll share some of the things they have said. I've spoken to some business owners who are taking Friday off for Good Friday, and they're also taking off Monday for Easter Monday, which I think is awesome. In Italy, it's Lunedì di Pasqua, and the tradition is, if I'm not mistaken, I remember it is that it's like the spring cleaning day. So Pulizia di Pasqua is like the cleaning of Easter. So after Easter, they all do a big day of cleaning, and just that sort of fresh start that comes with our Lord, resurrecting, and the joyous and glorious season ahead. So I think that's a great tradition. But I love the taking the Monday off as business owners this coming week. I don't think I will be doing that. But there are a few days I am looking at trying to just unplug, maybe do some work behind the scenes. But really, I am taking some time Thursday evening, Friday evening, and then Saturday evening, and of course all day Sunday. So I'm excited for that. Some of the we had a Catholic speed networking call this week, and it was a group of professional women. I think two of them are business owners. One is a podcaster, and the other is just starting her business. And some have families, some do not. So it was a really fun time together, discussing, which mass are you going to? Are you going to the vigil? Are you going Sunday morning? It's such a liturgically rich weekend we have coming up, with many opportunities to engage it with our faith and to go deeper this triduum. But also, we have to decide what we're going to do. That's one of the things. If I don't make a good, clear plan, then it's not going to go well. So I'm really looking forward to, we're going to do Easter morning mass. And then we're going to have lunch here at the house, and we're going to do an Easter egg hunt here at the house. So we are keeping it a little simpler this year compared to years past. And so I just want to encourage you, if your Easter is a little simpler this year compared to years past, then it's okay. Just do your best. The important thing is our Lord, and getting to Mass and celebrating His glorious resurrection. And there will always be, future years for more extravagant celebrations. If that's where you are today, like us, we're there with you. It's okay. It will be wonderful. And no need to stress about it. So then the other thing I wanted to share was, there is this beautiful, and I'm going to see if I can actually screen share on my streaming software. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I can, but I'm going to just check. So bear with me just a moment, because I really want to share this with you. It is a beautiful, it's called a timepiece of the Passion of our Lord. And it's really just about the last day of his life. And it's really beautiful. I apologize. I was not as prepared as I would like to share with you. But it is this traditional timepiece, and I'm going to be sharing it on all of our socials today, because it is just this beautiful visual representation of the last, basically from Thursday night through when our Lord, dies on the cross. And it's absolutely beautiful. So, while I pull that up, sorry, I'm having a technical issue. Today's a little technical issue day. I apologize. Sometimes that's just how it goes. It's okay. Here it is. All right, I'm gonna share my screen here. I've got it up. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Thank you for your patience while I got this pulled up. So this is a beautiful, beautiful timepiece of the passion of the last day of our Lord's life. So I just want to look at this together. I think it's so beautiful and also worth just looking at. So the way this is set up, the top half is the hours of daylight, and then the bottom are hours of darkness. And this was a timepiece that was used. It really sort of informs the liturgical calendar and the different, how the stations were and the stations of the cross, and really, it's just a beautiful piece. So the first hour, pardon me. It starts here at the Last Supper. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. So the first one is the Last Supper. So this is Thursday evening, right? The Last Supper and the Last Discourse are shown here. You can see, I don't know if you can see my mouse moving. Let me know in the comments if you can see my mouse moving. Joseph, that's awesome. A local village walk with all Christian faiths and walk to our church of St. Patrick's. You're going on Easter Sunday. That's awesome. That's beautiful. I love that. I bet the traditions in Ireland are amazing. So thank you so much for sharing with us, Joseph. So then the Last Supper, the Last Discourse, that's Thursday evening, and then it goes to the left, like a clock, right? It really makes sense. But anyway, second then is the Agony at Gethsemane. And so it's like getting into the midnight hour, right? And then it moves to our Lord's time before Annas, and then before Caiaphas, and then the mocking of the servants. So this really, from 1 a.m. until 6 a.m., you can really, the thing I love about this timepiece is that it really shows that this, even though was 24 hours, each section really was a long time. I mean, 6 hours, 5 hours overnight, when I'm sure our Lord was totally exhausted, but he had to go before multiple people. He was being mistreated terribly, hour after hour. And it's really, really tough. So then in the morning of Friday, so it's like 6 a.m., you can see he is before Pilate. And then we know then Pilate sent him to Herod. Then he was before Herod, and then he was back to Pilate. And so by 9 o'clock, he was, being mocked and being mistreated by the soldiers. And then there's the Way of the Cross from 10 to 10:30-ish to 12. And honestly, I'm not sure if that is, maybe I always imagined the Way of the Cross being a little bit longer than a couple of hours, but I'm not certain. Either way, it was a very long walk and it was so much suffering. And then our Lord on Calvary, his death, and then he is laid in the sepulchre that evening at 6, which is obviously, it was getting dark. They had to get to their homes for the Sabbath. So this timepiece really is a beautiful piece to reflect on. Just look through, and that's kind of why we're sharing it on all the platforms today, because we it's worth taking a look at, especially preparing for tomorrow and Friday and Saturday and Sunday. The suffering of our Lord was profound, and I was just really grateful. This is from the Roman Missals, so this is something I found years ago, and I just really appreciate that reflection of that timepiece. So that is Wednesday of Holy Week. We have coming up, obviously tomorrow is of course the Last Supper. our Lord in Gethsemane, and then our, you know, he'll be betrayed. So it's a really difficult time. I think it's an important time to slow down and to reflect on all that our Lord has done for us, uh, and at the same time to also be grateful for the blessings that we have. I there can be joy in suffering, and I do think, holding our loved ones dear during this hard time, this very sad and solemn time of the year, walking that with our children and showing them, these difficult things that our Lord endured, um, but to do so in a way that is hopeful. Maybe not necessarily joyful, but hopeful and encouraging. Encouraging for them to participate in the liturgy with us, to say the prayers with us. I had a guest, Matthew Ciccone. He is known as the Simple Catholic online. He had spoken as a guest a few weeks ago about how he likes with his children to sort of position that, we get to go to mass, we get to do these things, this is what we're doing, this is, it's not that we have to. And that sort of posture, that positioning, I think really makes a difference, and especially during a week like this where, we're going to church you know 2 long days, and then obviously Saturday is no mass, and then Sunday is a really big mass, right? Or the vigil, even bigger mass. So with the kids, I think that sort of positive positioning, that positive and hopeful uh, presentation of all these things that we get to do as Catholics as we observe these challenging feast days and we walk to Calvary with our Lord. It's good for them to see us engaging with that in a way that is hopeful and that is, this is a privilege that we get to do this. It's not that we have to do it. I think there's something to that. And I just want to encourage people to make the most of this Holy Week that you can. I've heard recently from some folks that their Lent, flew by very quickly. It wasn't as fruitful as they would have liked. And so I just want to share a word of encouragement for folks. If you haven't been able to, even if you have been able to have a very fruitful Lent, embrace these days, the difficulty of these days, and, unite yourself with our Lord, because as one of the comments on a recent post said, like, as long as we are, awake, we have another chance. And I think that's so beautiful. For this Holy Week, we have an opportunity to embrace the cross with our Lord and to walk with him and to unite ourselves to him and his sufferings, so that we may ultimately be closer to him, be closer to his Blessed Mother, and be better for it in the end, so that we may more fully celebrate that Sunday morning, that glorious Alleluia on Sunday morning when our Lord is resurrected. So just a word of encouragement for you as you wrap up this Holy Week, to do the best that you can, involve your family as best as you can, and really embrace the glorious and wonderful and even heavy sometimes traditions that we have this week. So that's about all I'm going to say today. Thank you so much for joining me for Catholic Owned Live. I will be back here on Friday. I'm going to be reading a little excerpt from the Passion of Christ through the eyes of Mary. Obviously, Friday is a very sad day. So I am not a member of the clergy, and I don't feel like I can add to anything that has been said or that could be said about Good Friday. And so I'm just going to be reading some of that wonderful book. It's from St. Anselm, so amazing. And so I'll just be reading a little bit of that, sharing that with you, in hopes that in case you have never read that book, That is The Passion of Christ Through the Eyes of Mary. If you've never read it, you can kind of have some of that experience as part of your Good Friday experience. So that will be the Friday show. After Easter, we will be back. We have a ton of incredible content. We have our event coming up after Easter. So many graces and blessings coming after Easter. Before I sign off for today, I want to remind you about the event we have, which is on April 16th, after Easter, of course. It's the Catholic Economy Forum. This is the first event of its kind where we will gather Catholic professionals, business owners, consumers, all together around the purpose of supporting each other in how we spend, work, and shop, and live our faith in our economic lives. We have an incredible lineup of speakers. The event will be held in an incredibly immersive and interactive virtual venue that you're going to love being in. You'll be able to meet, you click over, you walk up to other people to speak with them. It's incredibly interactive. Our sponsor booths, you'll be able to interact with the people at the booths and get information about them and learn of the amazing work they're doing. So we just have an incredible lineup for you for April 16th. It is, and we'll also have, I'm going to be making a big announcement about the future of Catholic Owned as well. So you want to be sure to grab your tickets and be there live. You're not going to want to miss this event. The link to get your tickets, it's everywhere right now. So it's in the description of this video. It is on our website. It is on all of our social media. So if you want to attend the Catholic Economy Forum and you haven't got your ticket yet and you can't find the link, reach out, but otherwise you should be able to find it everywhere right now. So we hope to see you at the Catholic Economy Forum. I encourage you to grab your tickets ahead of Easter. We don't know if it'll sell out just because it's our first one, but if you're wanting to attend, I would encourage you to get your tickets just in case it does. So, of course, next year we'll know better, but this year we will see if we sell out or not. Alrighty, well, that is all I want to make sure and share with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been Catholic Owned Live. We are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Central Time, and I hope to see you back here again on Friday. God bless you, and I hope you have a wonderful Holy Week.